Maybe Jayanti ji or Shuchita
Yes,
or
sir.
Suresh or Bipin or Mandal or Naga, or if you don't show the face, you can go. Not necessarily. Ghazul Kalam, Karim. What do you think about conscious living? What does it mean?
Sir, for me, so should
No,
I?
sir, madam, please. I want to call you madam, forgive me, forget me, and all that. No, be little conscious when you are speaking. Seeing my face, you should feel that no, I am not sir. I am Dr. TPS.
Yes, sir.
No, again, sir. This is what is unconscious. I am talking. Speak consciously.
Sir, when you
No,
speak,
again, sir. Speak consciously. You are unconsciously speaking. That is the problem you have. Most of the lecturers, the biggest problem is they are unconscious in the class. And students become unconscious in their life. That's what is being trained. If you are with me, beside me, I will take a stick and beat you for every sir.
yes,
Yes, Dr. TPS.
yes. To be conscious for me, actually, I always take as a philosophy side. We take generally consciousness as a higher category. Like when we talk about conscious living, that means I'm aware of my existence, what I'm doing. That certain things that means I know what is good and what is bad. Good and bad, not in terms of that how I use it for my individual existence, more concerned about the social existence. So that is a consciousness is basically I'm aware of that my shortcomings also. At the same time, I would like to do something which will give maximum pleasure or maximum happiness to the society. But by doing this, whether I'm happy or unhappy, that is a question mark. But that is called conscious living. For me, is something is a kind of sachidanand, or it is a kind of not misguiding others, not kind of cheating others, or not kind of telling any negative things to others. So that way, I feel because most of our ideas are, if I take Western parameters, the things are different when I talk about conscious living. So that means I'm also aware of my problems. And but when we talk about Indian consciousness theories, we have an idealistic picture which always tells us to do something for others, not for ourselves. So that is a kind of parameter which I'm carrying sometimes. Sometimes I used to accept the consciousness living given by Jean-Paul Sartre, existentialist, and also I apply this to my life-related situations. But at times we have to be very idealistic way I work because I follow the Vedant principles. So there are two kinds of conscious living I'm talking about. I hope it makes some sense to others.
Actually, for me, it makes no sense at all. Everything is nonsense, what you said. Because many things are not defined. When I say I am happy, am I consciously happy? See, we are talking about a very great topic. We wanted the deep rooted Indian philosophy. You said Indian happiness. Indian philosophy, it is different. There is nothing called life is one and the same. So we categorized this is happy for people in this world. This is knowledge for this world. Right? What is that which is concerned about? See, today somebody had sent me a small link. My misfortune in my life is if somebody send me a link without seeing it, reading it, I cannot go to the next message. You understood what I'm saying? I have seen people whose 100 messages will be hundreds, thousands. You don't see me. The time Dr. Jayanti sent me a message, I will reply it. Then I delete Jayanti from my message. I don't keep it there. Assume there is an action from me to you, immediately I will mark it as silent, so that until that silent mode is made into violent mode, I will keep talking to you, or I will keep it in my box, so that I know, oh, I have to attend this because I have a program with you. So when many messages come, so today one message came, I went to the link and started listening. What is India's problem today, you know? And that is what the article speaks about. 80% of the people are not aware of what they want. You are talking about happiness. If you look at the happiness index in India, it is worst, much worse than the neighboring countries, which are much worse in economic terms, SDG, GDP and all that, much worse. But we are not happy. So how do you compare, oh, this person is happy, let us talk about happiness. Consciously happy is not there, because I don't understand what is happiness itself. So there are a lot of undefined words we keep using. Consciousness, awareness, that is not clear. So once that is not clear, one sentence, two sentences if you tell, I will tell you which are all the words consciously to be used. Are you getting what I'm saying? The philosophy for a common man's philosophy, entirely different for somebody's philosophy. We had a group, Ukraine peace group. In that group today, Dilip ji, our close friend, last day, he has put a post, the yoga posture in which he keeps his leg behind this and look like a handicapped fellow on the road who is begging. That is what the comment he has written also. Anybody who will see this person on a road will think that this person has got some problem and see people will give money. That is how the post is. He posted it like that. Imagine a country in which they are really struggling for survival, internet connection. They are living in some other country. On their mercy, they have to open this message, and you see this. It's only fun. Nothing great in that which helps them, right? But I was thinking why he has posted. Before I could finish thinking, somebody has deleted removed him from the group. I'll tell you, we are now, you said, individualistic and in the society. That's in the context I'm saying. How do we talk about happiness, philosophy, when 80% of the public is not even aware of? Now I have a lot of friends who used to attend a lot of webinars like this from Sri Lanka. Now you can imagine, they don't even have electricity there. How do they attend? So where is our awareness about the people around me who are really suffering? Got it? So what defines the minimum requirement? Say, we keep saying roti, kapada, makan. Correct? But I don't think no war in this world is fought for roti, kapada, makan. No war. There would have been civil problems, but no war. Real war is something which is much higher. No, it never happened. That is not the biggest problem. The biggest problem is where there is a war, it is only for freedom. Somebody curtail somebody's freedom, somebody get into somebody's, correct? Now individually, if Dr. Jayanti Sahu has got a freedom, what you will do? That will define your consciousness. That's what I believe. Right? That could be many. Financial freedom. If you have sufficient money, will you go for a job? Will you go for this job or you will opt for some other job? So you are doing it for what? Not which is your real willingness from inside, correct? Whenever you do something not willingly from your side, will you be happy? You understood what I am asking? So the definition of happiness comes, I am enjoying, I am so happy because I am doing what is that I love to do, right? Do you have, not necessarily 24 hours, do you have sufficient time in your life where you invest, not spend, invest for that happiness which Dr. Jayanti spoke so far? At least sometime at your level when you don't. How do you send this message to your children? What are we? They also know your inner feelings. They may not tell you, but they know, oh, my mother is like this. She is not really happy. And it comes out in different style, in different dealings, correct? Yes or no?
Sir, very true.
Yeah, so what is that message as a mother you are giving to your child because you are not living consciously? We are trying to justify whatever we are not doing, whatever we are not able to do, and whatever we are supposed to do in which we are helpless. This is what is the maximum thoughts in each one of us. How can you be free? That is freedom. I am talking about the world has fought war is different. But internally, each one of us are fighting war within us. And that is the biggest war. The whole Bhagavad Gita is talking about this war only. Other day, Dr. Shuchita was asking me to speak on or having a colloquium like this on conflict. Actually, that is the biggest conflict. Long back, I remember when Shuchita asked me on conflict, immediately I was, in 2000s, I was giving the maximum number of talks were on conflictology. And I don't know how many of you know, conflictology is a subject which is as great as physics. The natural laws are physics. The internal emotional laws are conflictology. And that is why we keep saying Mahatma Gandhi to conflictology is Einstein to physics. If you consider physics, greatest scientist is Einstein. The subject of conflictology, who is the greatest man in the world, immediately people can say Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi lived consciously, at least to some extent. Mahatma Gandhi lived a life which he wanted to be like this. That's how he lived. Otherwise, it's not easy to come from South Africa, leave his advocate's job, go to somebody and learn. He learned politics. He was not aware of Indian politics. And he lived. When he read Bhagavad Gita, he read Bhagavad Gita to understand the inner concept of that. When everybody is fighting against somebody, his inner conscious says, this is not the way. Generally, what leaders would have thought, let me also be part of it so that I will become the leader, everybody supports me. But he said, what all you are doing is wrong. Don't do this. You need great courage. When the whole people are for something, if you want to say that this is not the right thing, non-violence is what is to be fought, you know how much courage you require. And you know how much internal conflict he should have had. That is why Mahatma Gandhi's internal life was not that easy. Gandhi, My Father movie, if you look at it, if you ask his children or grandchildren, they will tell my grandpa was not good, my father was not good. There were a lot of conflict inside him. We are not consciously living because we have a lot of conflict inside and we are not able to resolve it. By the time we resolve it, our life will be over, so we can never be happy. Is that is happy or winning a war inside each one of us? So after that I become happier. That is what is happiness. What Dr. Jayanti said is correct only, but I say it has to be seen from a different angle. You posted the problem. So I am giving you a solution, giving an example of Mahatma Gandhi. Right? How many of us have that freedom? That is the freedom which Mahatma Gandhi fought inside him and made others to fight. Got it? I am sure there will be different angles for this.
Yes, sir, very rightly you said that there is always a kind of internal conflicts going on with, I think, everybody. And you are very rightly point out at what exactly conscious living is, and where we are lacking and something we are hiding many times also, hiding the truth, and that I agree with you completely. So.
Anybody? I could go on and on because this is one topic not today I started. I was telling now almost 20 years back in one of the defense center they asked me the topic. I said conflictology. They asked what is this? They never heard about that topic those days. The talks are very popular today, but those days you cannot even Google to find out the talks and subjects. Correct. Yeah.
Can I?
Yeah, sure. Don't ask. It's your. Not. I am only a guest.
Acharya, I was more conscious or was wanting to know that if there is a conflict, everybody knows the solution. This is how can we fight that internal conflict is a difficult thing. And when I come across people who are aware, who are at your age, they don't have anything to lose now. Mostly they don't have in terms of emotions, in terms of money, they are very secure. But then also they are worried about the future, they are worried about their status, and they keep on conflicting. Why should they not come across, and how can we help them to be conscious? I feel like sometimes I am consciously living, sometimes I am in ego trap, or sometimes we all are working for we are on a selfish motive, knowingly or unknowingly. We can think of society for a while, but then finally you come to yourself. And this is how can we improve ourselves? When you read Bhagavad Gita, or when you chant mantra, or when you come across Adhyatmic people, you definitely come across and you find that you should be peaceful, you should be this, you should be that. And then finally somebody else comes out and disturbs you, like throwing a stone in the pond. So how can we be able to calm ourselves? That was my problem or a question which requires answer. And how can I help others as well?
See, today somebody called me. I used to stay in a different apartment. So one of my neighbor called me and said what trouble he has in parking his vehicle in the parking slot. Every day there is a fight. It's a big problem for him. I understand it's a big problem for him as far as he is concerned, because his bike is new and somebody spits on that, somebody sits on that, somebody drags it. I am not staying there. So I am not involving in anything. I could have just told him I am not there now. So I know his problems. Because that's natural. Everybody will have. Though he attends our Bhagavad Gita also. I don't know whether today also he may be there. Okay. I told him, assume that I come and stay in somebody's house. I am staying in Dr. Jayanti's house. I am sure I cannot be as lavish as I am in my house, right? I have to adjust wherever there is a small space. Correct or not? First thing I told him is, are you from Hyderabad? He said he is not. So Hyderabad is accommodating you itself is a big thing for you. Understood? I always feel like that. Got it? Hyderabad is much a better city than, assume that I am in my village and somebody from Bengal comes as a worker. We don't even know his name. We have categorized him, a Bengali has come to work. That's it. We don't even care which place, what is this. Anybody who looks not like us and who is slightly different from our village fellow, we'll say, call that Bengali. That's it. Call that Bihari. See, at least in Hyderabad, we are not being considered like that, I told you. But that itself is a great. Now he realized, yeah, true. I should be accommodative. I should not demand too much. We always feel I have a right here, right? Oh, I am occupying this place, therefore it's mine. I remember my travel to Udaipur from Ahmedabad. I was traveling in that time it was called the first class compartment. And some other white skinned person, I don't know which country he is from, definitely he is an Indian, not an Indian. He was sitting and the TT came and asked for ticket. So he has shown only a normal second class ticket, not even a reservation, not even a first class ticket. So the TT said, go, no, not here, you should go and travel in the other compartment. So he said, this is vacant, why should not I travel? You take as much money as you want, I want to be in this place. I found lot of difficulty in the TT to convince him. We have a system called reservation. He says, this is vacant, how can you say it is reserved? If somebody comes immediately, I will vacate. Until then, allow me to sit here. Nothing happened. He was talking so much of rule. And you know what happens? From that Udaipur, the train travels. After some time, there are a lot of people in the general compartment who carries lot of firewood. They stop the train, get into the compartment with their firewood. Whichever place they want to get down, they will pull the chain, get down there. And this fight was happening. This must be a Britisher or American. He was asking this tree, which rule permits you to do this? You can do anything in the whole train, and I cannot do something in this small place where I am sitting. Then I convincingly told him, yes, they can do it because it is their state. You cannot sit here because you are from other country. Do you think if it would have been a member of parliament or MLA or a small politician, not necessarily. Assume that you had that dress which generally politicians wear, no? Nobody will even dare to ask him. Got it? So what is our right? There is no right. When we think that, oh, I have to be respected here, I have a place, when thinking that only we have all these problems. Assume that we don't have that thought, anything else is not a problem for us.
So that means
slightly only. But sometimes, I'll just conclude in a sentence. So the problem is not that somebody from the outside world has intruded in your society, or you are feeling insecure, or you are dominating that domain. Problem is sometimes when you want to be so simple and to intermingle with those people and want to ask their family, the others will think like they don't have a status. They are intermingling with a servant. And they want you to be on the servant's level. Then it comes out to be an ego struggle. And definitely then you want to dominate, or you want to reinstate your ideas that, yeah, I have a status, but I am humble. I want to know how to draw the line between a humble person and a dominating person. This is the problem.
Yeah, I think the biggest lesson in this world is I am only a servant in this world for everybody. If I think that, I don't know if you look at any of my lectures for teachers, I keep saying teachers are paid by students. Therefore, the honor of the class is not the teacher but the student, because they are paying and you are getting money. Understood? That is why under government of India, every government employee is called a servant. Even if he is a collector, he is a servant. So our ego is not actually, none of us have ego. The problem is people keep pushing ego on us. Got it? I remember in early 2000, that means 22 years back, when I gave a lecture in a city called Kochi, Ernakulam in Kerala. It's one of the largest city. I had 50,000 people to listen to me. Definitely your ego will raise. Oh, I am a great speaker. No, 50,000 people physically. Oh, what a great thing, yeah. Immediately, one of my classmates who was working in a press, he's a reporter. He came to me and asked, he called me by name Shashi. Hey, this man is calling me Shashi. I am DrTPS Shashi Kumar. No, nothing. Because we have such a relationship. He called me Shashi. Tell me now, what do you feel now? I immediately said, if I go to railway station, nobody may recognize me. Number one. Number two, assume I want to go from that place to the hotel where I am staying. Okay, definitely somebody is escorting me, taking me, and all is fine. But assume nobody is there. Or maybe tomorrow morning I come to the temple for praying, and I ask an auto driver to take me to the hotel. He may say, no, I will not come. You cannot tell, yesterday I gave speech here, I am a great person. Nothing works there. So if he is not giving respect to you, it is not your problem. He is not educated. See, I have a card which is of a high status. When I travel in any of the national highway, I don't have to pay tax at all. Toll is not to be paid. That status I have. But most of them I pay. You know why? To convince that person who is standing there, the time which I have to spend is much higher than maybe 100 rupees or 130 rupees which I pay. Hey, give it, go, let it go, no problem. That's easier. You understood? So that, let it go. Let it go. Bipin knows. He has taken me to, among you all, there is only one person who must have came with me in many forums for discussions and talks. You know what do I do? As soon as the inauguration is over, you have a stage on which the chair is kept and all that. I will not sit there. I will sit on the floor. He has seen. I will sit on the floor only. I will sit on the floor and start talking. Assume that coming down to a level. Why we say namaskaram? That has a great meaning. When I say namaskaram to you is I am not there. That means I don't feel that I am somebody away different from you. That feeling is there, then the ego raises. So when I say namaskaram, consciously I must say namaskaram. Unknowingly, without knowing the word, somebody was telling namaskaram, I will also say namaskaram, has no meaning. So when I say namaskaram, from that time onwards, if somebody is not respecting me, if somebody is not talking to me with as a teacher, all that is useless, because you already said we are like friends. Got it? So Shad, I keep saying, my guru was, that is how it needs lot of satsang with the people. I have seen great knowledgeable person who was my guru, who never had an ego. That is why, the reason they don't wear great dresses. The dress itself gives them a feeling, oh, I am nothing. You ask, when I go to Bipin's place, I may have one pair of pants and one pair of kurta or something. Rest, whatever he is using, I am using. Is it not Bipin? And no shame. No, all that, probably, whatever pants which I am using probably is what is the old pants of Bipin even today. Got it? So you should not, that feeling of, See, too much of summer here. I am seeing all the garden people who are working. They have got a water bottle which is plastic, and they keep it in this 40 degree and drink. There is no point in giving lecture to them. So what did I do? I purchased a bunch of, there are a lot of people. I purchased a bunch of water bottles to them, and then I asked that contractor distribute to everybody. Actually not required. That's not my job at all, right? Why should I do it? But I am not able to stop. And then what he said, you distribute, let them come and collect from you. I said, how does it matter whether I am giving or you are giving? Why should they know that I have given? That also is not required, I am saying. Got it? The feeling is, Vivekananda clearly explains this attachment, my thing, I am there. That feeling Vivekananda clearly explains with a lot of examples. He doesn't have any attachment to anything. Now I have a great house. All my pension money I have invested in rebuilding my house in my native. I am not there for last three years. Only if I think about that start worrying me. When somebody speaks to me, somebody discuss that, I have got a lot of things which irritates me. Right? So what do? I don't care. It is not in my chapter at all now. Gone. Finished. So what you should do is get rid of anything which disturbs you. You don't have to think about them. Take that experience, make it as a lesson, and don't think that lesson can be used in some other place is also not required. Because lessons are not same. The lesson what you learned in one place cannot be attempted in some other place. There may be a lot of people who are materialistically highly bonded. Without that they cannot. You have to live in that world. But how are you matters. So today, when that boy was asking about the parking problem, I told him, I don't stay there, but I have not even met him, because by the time he came, I vacated and I am here in a different place. But he knows me. So I am sure I told him, if I come there, definitely you will give me rice. You will give me khana. Right? Without any relation, you are doing it to me. Assume that I am sick at that place, definitely you will take me to a hospital. What is that I have given you? I have not given you anything. Except that, I was staying in one portion of that for some time. And now today you are, that's all what we have. Assume that we are traveling in a train, just because we are sitting in a seat, we claim this is my seat. Even though that's not a reservation compartment, unreserved compartment, when we sit, assume that we go to washroom and come back. If somebody sits there, I will say, wake up, get up, this is mine. Why? Because we sat there sometime. That's our right. We always consider we sat there, that's my right. We are only trustees. We are only trustees for anything. Ownership is not there. Many people believe that the land belongs to me, house belongs to me. Nothing belongs to me. Actually, what is house? Is that the wall is the house? Is the kidki or the door is the house? No. The inside area is my house, right? The time you think there is no difference between inside air and outside air, and if you are not limited by the walls and windows and doors, the whole world becomes your house. Got it? That is actually Vedanta philosophy. Vedanta philosophy, that is why he said, the whole universe is my house. Because he don't limit his wall and the windows, limit me inside my small room. No. I keep asking, when I am staying in an apartment, the floor is not mine, because that belongs to the ground floor fellow. The roof is not mine, because that is the floor of the upstairs fellow. Correct? This wall is not mine, because that is neighbor's wall. What is mine? The concept of mine, I is the biggest problem. See,
Sir, so should I say something here?
Yeah.
So suppose, take for the example, you are saying that is okay, that like I accept that. But there are real life situations when you are dealing with, and with a conscious living, which we are talking about. Sometimes some situations come, you are not responsible for that, but it has come. Like, take for the example, suppose I want to establish peace in my family. Okay, I tried my best, but sometimes some situation comes, it gives a kind of bitter experience.
Yeah.
But then you are not responsible for that, but the situation which occurred in that time. So do you think that every time do I need to do some kind of adjustment? Because when we talk about ego, something, I'm a conscious being, but my consciousness tells me that I should not disrespect it. Okay, so if even if you that something disrespects me and I'm somehow disturbed by that, do you mean to say that in that situation also we have to remain quiet because we want to establish some kind of conscious limit, or to establish some there also I'm responsible for that, or there also I should not bring my ego anything to that. So what your conscious living says that?
See, Krishna was so powerful, but he failed in resolving the conflict between families. So what he did? Did he get angry? Did he fight? No, he was a big failure. He couldn't even, family problem he could not solve. The problem with his brother he did not solve. The relatives' problems he could not solve. He could not escape his bad death. See, our Bhagavan representation in terms of philosophies and stories and messages are great thing. What is that? Do you think Dr. TPS doesn't have any problem with the family members? There are a lot of problems, but that doesn't concern me because I have got bigger things to think. That's why I said it is not that is not a problem for me. Unless somebody comes and speaks to me on that matter, it is not my concern at all. So I am not saying 24 hours, 365 days I am able to do this. No. Can you fill your mind with a lot of such activities and you are so busy that smaller things doesn't matter to you? See, when COVID came, many people did not had any diseases. Is it because they did not had a disease? Because there was no COVID, that time small diseases was a big problem in this world. When you look at a newspaper or a TV, lot of news comes. Small theft here, even small riots, somebody burned a bus, somebody raped somebody else, 3 people died in military attack, there is a Maoist problem or a Marxist problem. Everything can be there, let it be there. Are you worried about that? I am not worried. Now, when such news comes, 1 or 2 people are affected, 10 people are affected. I feel, oh, that's all in this country. Because this is 130 million people, out of which few people are only getting affected, right? Much more number of people are getting affected by poverty. When you think about them, even COVID was not a big problem. I don't know how many of my sessions I must have told. COVID is not at all a problem. Poverty is a bigger problem. COVID is a problem because it is affecting rich and poor equally. Poverty is not a problem for them because it is not affecting them. So which is a bigger problem? Whichever is affecting the socially high status people, rich people, educated people, people think that's a big problem. The rest of the people, if it is affected, we think it is not at all a problem. So why COVID was never a problem for me, which was, I never said, oh, I must have told, because in the beginning I could make some programs on Facebook live and all because there was COVID. So that time I used to tell, because of COVID we are meeting. That is the only reference which I give to COVID. Otherwise, when somebody asked me to speak about before COVID, after COVID, I said it makes no difference to anyone. Only thing, instead of being physical, we have become digital. And that we who are digital is one of the richest and the best in this country. There are a lot of people who are not connected. They are very poor. Correct? So we think it's a big problem because we don't have any other bigger problem. Because small incidents are coming in newspaper, that is because there was no big plane crash. When Ukraine war came, every TV fellow was on that. By the time all Indians have been evacuated from that, Ukraine is not at all a problem for India. No TV fellow, not even, they don't even know where is Ukraine now. Otherwise, every day Ukraine map used to be the first thing what we see in the body. Got it? So it's all when it is affecting me, I am worried. Is it not selfishness? Is it not selfishness? See, I became part of the Ukraine, there is a group, very active group in which I am there, and I conducted one discussion on this forum where I called, that's the last thing which I did before this, I think. I did it because there was a boy who wanted to interview that Ukraine lady. The questions, the way he asked, immediately she left that and then became so angry. Because he was asking about world political situations, what is that you think Russia is not correct and all that. It cannot be asked to such a person who is actually suffering. And she was a professor from a university, forced to be out, and she is in a small tent. Very rarely she gets a connection, and the connection gets, you are talking about, you know, when we suffer, we really understand how difficult is that. So you think about such a person, then all that small troubles which we have, we think nothing. That's all, doesn't matter. When we don't get one day meal, we are worried. Think about those people who don't have. Yesterday I was discussing with my brother, two brothers. We had a long dialogue. So we were telling my mother's mother and their cousins and sisters and all that. All of them had 8-pack on their belly. I don't know whether any ladies in this world today will have 8-pack on their belly. And we were discussing, only once in 3 days they used to have meals. Once in 3 days. I am talking about my father's mother. My grandmother. My grandmother had only once in 3 days meal. In the whole village, there was only 3 houses where morning tea was available. There was no shop, no tea shop at all in my village those days. Only 3 houses. So when tea is made, people used to show this is what is tea, because that was like a lavish thing which you wanted to see. Can you imagine? So when you live in such situations, we realize, oh, this is the world. So where is that ownership? Now assume that I got lot of awards, lot of decorations in my house, all have no value at all, because DrTPS knows in few years I am going to die. Okay, from Hyderabad I carried lot of trophies to display in my house in Kerala. I am not even bothered about it, because I know maybe how many years I can bother about it. Maybe few more years, after that it becomes useless. But I may not be able to convince somebody else this philosophy of life, so they become materialistic, they start using it. Sometime that iota of thought will come, oh yeah, I should also been there now. For what? The question comes, for what? It's actually demand. See, today also I got from Mahi, somebody called me and said, when are you coming to Kerala? I said, I have no plans to come to Kerala at all. You don't feel that you were there conducting camps, you were very close to that. I said, that's not my chapter at all. I am sure when he calls me, I will have to remember those days. And he was explaining what a beautiful place that was. He called me. Actually, there was long discussion today because of that. Got it? So we think this is an attachment only when we have an attachment. If it is not there, it's not there. Then I asked him, what are you going to do next week, next month? He said, I am going to Andaman Nicobar for sightseeing trip. I said, what a stupid fellow, yeah. Mahi is a place very close to sea. And where are you going? Again to another place where they have seashore only. I said, don't go to that places. You must go to mountains. See, from a seashore, you should go to mountains, not to another seashore, right? Why are you going to enjoy. What is that you will enjoy which you don't have? See, we are not even conscious about planning where to go, how to enjoy itself. We don't even have a plan. So understand, everything is short-lived. Your enjoyment going from one place to another place is only short-lived. What do you enjoy after that? Those enjoyed moments you carry in your life and talk to somebody else, that becomes an enjoyment. So in my life, I have made sufficient number of memorable events which I can cherish in my whole life. When I see Isabella, today also I was mentioning about Isabella. Isabel spoke to me because she has seen a video program in which I gave a lecture on meditation, and she wanted to see, is it meditation in this way? I said, let us not talk like this, come on a YouTube, Google Meet, let us discuss. That became another discussion. A small doubt became a relationship, right? Understand? I have lot of such moments to think about somebody. When I look at my video, every day I post what happened this year in 2011, 2012, 2013. That itself is good enough for me. So what is to be done, Dr. Jayanti, if you want to enjoy your life? Don't think about problems around you and people around you. That I also have much higher and bigger than what you may have. Because you are dealing with the hundreds and thousands, I am dealing with the millions. Every day there are problems. When I see somebody, problem will be there. If it is on telephone, I bar them. I don't entertain their calls. They may call from somebody else. That call also I will bar. There are such things. Ignore. A problem which creates troubles, ignore. Okay. Anything that makes you happy, keep rejoicing around it. But you may get bored after some time. So what is to be done? Create moments which can create a better life. So what is asset in life as far as I am concerned? It is not a trophy. The moment what gave me the trophy, the smile on that face. Today somebody asked me, because Bombay I am going, he asked me how to introduce you. I said, his name is Arun Nath. I told Arun Nath, we met on 2020 August 6th. After that you wanted to learn movie making from me and you spoke to me. And after that, almost 1 year, 8 months after that you are calling me. We have no relation at all. What you will do is you will read my biodata. That is not at all required. You are unfit for introducing DrTPS, I said. Yes, so how do you remember all these dates? I said, when your call comes immediately, I will Google and find out when was our last interaction. Right? That is clearly available with me. He said, as an insurance agent, I am not able to keep biodata of people. I said, how many people you have to keep? He said, maybe thousands maximum. I said, 1 lakh biodata is there in this. It's the way you keep things, you can make it perfect. It needs to be very clearly understand whose activities, whose interactions, which makes you happy. Keep that as your asset. Everything else, have a dustbin, put it inside that. In your chamber of your chamber, inside your heart, put only activities, items that gives you happiness. It doesn't bother you much. Very simple. Yeah. Don't think about that vice chancellor where you wrongly introduced. It troubled you because his ego was high. Don't worry. Understood? Is it? Think only good things. Yeah. Then you will feel, oh, happy, wonderful day. When we used to drive I used to drive. Whenever I go to some city, I will say, I will drive. So I remember my first drive in Allahabad, Varanasi and all, when I used to drive. Definitely in Varanasi, when you drive, another vehicle will give a mark on your car, correct? Now I don't know. Those days, the roads were very small and rickshaw fellows will come and mark. Sometimes they will also intentionally mark. Assume your car is new and there is a small scratch, definitely you get irritated because it's fresh, new. And I have seen people fighting on the road. But then I used to ask them, have you seen the other car? It has got lot of marks. They don't fight because already marks are there. That is experience. Assume that your kurta is new and then you sit somewhere, you will see whether dust is there or not. But assume this kurta is already old. Do you mind sitting on any floor? You don't mind, right? Anyway, it is not. That is what is to be done. You must be able to say, let it go, no problem. Let go, no problem. The next talk on yes, you can. They asked me a title, I gave it, no problem. She was so much confused. What is this title, no problem? I said, your life becomes so simple when the title is no problem. The way you introduce, no problem. If there are no audience, no problem. I remember Bipin took me to Mysore. Ask him how many audience were there for a program which we arranged. I travelled from one place to another place, from one city to another city, overnight journey. Except me and Bipin, nobody was there. Correct, Bipin? Tell me. We had such incidents. But I also had in same Mysore full packed, Bipin, that also I seen. Where people, the window side, they used to stand so that they can see me through the window. And big line will be there because only one line angle you can see them, right? Correct? So it's all happens. When you have such things, don't feel that I am great. When you don't have, don't feel that I am not great. I had not even a single extra pulse BP I had when that day when there was no audience also. Correct? It is natural. It doesn't work the way you want. But yeah, we have to perform, we have to make a life. That materialistic thing, we should fill it. Whichever age, whatever age you are. I enjoyed my life from childhood to now. Some people must have told I am useless, not good, black mark. So many comments would have come. All doesn't matter. When I'll tell you, when I go to Bipin is here, so I am taking example. Bipin takes me to different places. Sometimes we get delayed. Is very, 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 very slowly only he will move. I will push him. I keep saying, my problem is I am not able to be like you, so casual. No. But no places we were late. Exactly at that time he will drive me and take me there. He has got a different strategy, I have got a different strategy. I am not able to like him. I never scold him telling that, no, why are you late? Nothing, not even a single fraction would have been there. Because I always believe he can take me there. And then I will tell him, I am not able to become like him. That is my problem. When I used to drive, my brother used to be there beside me in Kerala. Some bike fellow will drive, ooh, like this. My brother will say, see that fellow, how is he driving? I said, my problem and your problem is we are not able to drive like him. If we are able to drive like him, we would also be driving like that, right? Correct? You think like that, then you have no tension. Otherwise, there are a lot of things in this world which makes you full of tension. Yeah. 24 hours, 1 hour you take tension, 23 hours you be free. Instead of 15 minutes meditation and full 23 hours, 45 minutes tension. Don't do that. Don't close your eyes and meditate. Every action which you do, there has to be a credit which you can credit in your life, which is the happiness which Dr. Jayanti is talking. When I have a fighting with Shuchita, that fighting was only 1 minute. But I had hours together good time with her. So why should I think about that one? Maybe I had millions of people in which 3 people would have been not happy with me. Why should I think about only the 3 people, though they are my closest relative? We are not carrying them, they are not carrying us. As long as we are carrying them inside our manas, physically you can be near, but you can be 2 different paths. One of my poetry, if you have not read that poetry. We can be together on same road, but think different. But we can be on different roads and think together. Both are possible. Understood? I need not meet many of my friends every day. Though if I meet them after 10 years also, I speak to them as if yesterday I met them. Good enough. That's good enough. We never met, Dr. Jayanti I never met, Dr. Shuchita I never met, Isabella I never met, Suresh I never met. But I never felt that, we are strangers. Good enough. That's good enough. There are beautiful points. Read this. Poetry will give you a lot of answers. The secret of the self. One of the poetry. I need someone. Another poetry. These two poetries will give you answers, the philosophical answers for these questions in the life of love. The third and the fourth poetry. And self-love, true love. This book is,
This is your book?
It's too bad. I hate you for this. I must have shown this book many times. If you would have little courtesy of looking at my website, books, you will see this book downloadable. I must have told you many times that this book is Life of Love. You also would have introduced, he's an author of Life of Love. Have you not read this, my biodata, many times? But have you asked where is Life of Love? That is unconsciously doing things. Don't ever do that. That's why I keep saying no introduction for me. Physically, most of the programs, Bipin knows. He is the man who is there. That's why I'm saying. Most of the programs, if somebody introduces, I will hold them and then say, go and sit there. No introduction. Because as casually as Dr. Jayanti did it, that's how people do it. So I don't care it. I must have also told you, don't introduce me. Just because of this reason. Got it?
Sir, no, sir. I knew that this is your book, but then again I was thinking, because Secret of Love I have read also.
These are all my poetry. I am not stolen. I'll tell you a great joke. There is a very, very senior IAS man who became part of redesigning IAS examination in India and working on that, who was the controlling officer of Padmanabha Swami temple. You can imagine how senior man was. I am not naming him. I was in cabinet secretariat, he was also in cabinet secretariat. We were very, very close because he is also a Keralite. I gifted this book on a program where a lot of people were, 6,000 people were attending. Ambika Soni was there as a speaker. Shashi Tharoor was there. And this man was there. I gifted to all of them this book. After a few days, this IAS officer, he is a great, voracious reader, great speaker. On the stage, I have gone and then fallen on his feet and then did namaskaram to him because I have not seen such a fabulous speaker. I have really done it. I did not. If somebody speaks, what I do is from the audience, I have gone there and then fallen on his feet. I have not seen such a speaker like you, I said. Right? So I love him so much. The book I gave, next day evening, he called me and said, Dr. TPS, you wasted whole 1 day of mine. See, when after giving a book, if somebody tells like that, what do you think? The whole thing was waste. And he read this, and to read this, you don't require a whole day. Half day is good enough for, 1 hour is good enough for a good reader, right? Only 27 poems, half page only. You know what he said? When I read your first poem in the book, First Poetry. When he read it, Race for Birth. He read the first poetry. The Race for Birth he read. He remembers the same theme in one Malayalam poetry. So he thought I have copied it or translated and put it into an English poem, right? So he don't remember which magazine, which poetry, but he remember in one of the poetry he read. So what he did? He has got a heap of magazines. He started sitting down and then taking one by one, looking at it, everything. And at last he found that poetry. And that poetry title is Malsaram. And who is the author? Dr. TPS. So he found at last my Malayalam poetry, which I published in a magazine in Kerala. He said, you should have told me. I also write in Malayalam. Then I would have asked you that is it that poetry which you wrote. Got it? So sometime there are people who consciously live. See, you can just read and think that, oh, Dr. TPS would have copied and keep it aside. No. They do research. They go behind it. They hunt for that. Until they get an answer, they will not be satisfied. When you get a book, read it. That's what I'm saying. When you get a message, read it or delete it. Answer it. I don't leave anything unnoticed just like that. I attend every bit of it. Every bit of it. So I am consciously doing my activities. Eating, consciously eating. Cooking, consciously cooking. So be aware, be conscious, be part of it. When you read somebody's, see what that boy who wanted to introduce me tomorrow, I said, I have a beautiful Malayalam version because he has to speak in Malayalam. Don't translate. I will give you, because when I went for a program, somebody spoke about me beautifully. I asked, give me that. Then I took a picture of that and then stored it. I sent it to him saying that this is one of the best introduction. Don't try anything better than this. But don't read. Don't read. Go into each detail. The way you like, you speak. Got it? Be very sincere. That is what is essential.
One more question.
Yeah.
That arises from your speech.
Yeah.
Yesterday I was consulting as a astrologer. When I open the horoscope of somebody and I find that out if there is no scope of improving their life, then you keep on struggling with yourself how to counsel this person, how to help her or him. And then I unconsciously get into the trap of that fellow's problems. This is what my problem is. Sometimes I feel like this is my profession, why should I step into this? Then it comes like I am a human being, I should help her. So how to come across such situations in life when you want to live consciously?
Yeah, professionally and personally, life has to be totally detached. I don't think a doctor can even eat peacefully if he think about his patients. Got it? And if you are an advocate, you know lot of things which are happening. You cannot practice an advocate with the consciousness as a human being. That is why we say dharma has to be splitted. Swadharma is entirely different from professional dharma. Sometimes it happens immature for us. I remember one of my close relative, and again it is Bipin's sister's uncle, whose son was a great astrologer in Kannur. He is not there now. His Bipin's sister's father's brother died. But I used to stay with him when I go to that place. Even before that relation came, he was known to me. We were in small prabhashan and all that. So I used to stay with him. I used to be one of the person who can go there and stay whenever I want. That freedom I had. So when somebody came for a marriage matching horoscope to be seen, he was telling immediately, yes, this matches, finished. Okay. But I am also seeing that horoscope, and immediately I said, his name is Ganesh. I said, Ganesh, why are you suggesting this? The marriage itself will not happen because he is going to meet with an accident. I also know, seeing the horoscope, I will tell when somebody will meet with accident. So it will not happen. There will be an accident. No, they did not ask when the marriage is going to happen. They only asked whether it is matching. So my job is only to say matching. That's it. You understood? See, there is a great joke. We have Shabarimala Shasta Ayyappan. The king of that neighboring place. He is the man who got this child as Shabarimala Ayyappa. Otherwise it is Shasta. Shasta is the deity. Ayyappa is the son of that king nearby that place. So when the king saw the horoscope, they said, yes, Putra Bhagyam. Putra Bhagyam means you have a luck of getting a child. So the mother was thinking, the wife of the queen was thinking, she is going to bear a child. No. Getting a child, there are many ways. And actually they got the child from a forest. When he went for hunting, he got the child. The story is not over there. But as the child grew up, what he did, he left the kingdom and then went. The king was thinking, as the child grows, he will become the king, right? That is why they are eager to have a child. Horoscope did not give all this explanation. Question, answer, that's only what is given. So, if you become a doctor, what you will do? You will do lot of diagnosis and every problem will say. Don't do that. Who is a professional doctor? Assume somebody comes and says that I have fever, give medicine for fever. That's it. Don't ask whether you have stomach pain. Got it? Our profession is like that. Professionally, you have to be very discreet. I keep saying, if somebody comes with a headache, assume you are an Ayurvedic specialist. What you will ask? You will ask which oil you are applying and change the oil. That will be my prescription. Assume that you are an eye specialist. When somebody comes with a headache, what do? I check his eyes and change his specs. That's it. Assume that you are an ENT specialist. What you will do? You will look at the nose and say there is a small bend, operated, then your headache will go. Right? Assume that you are a psychologist. What you will do? You will keep asking what dream you see, what food you take, who are the people staying with you, all different questions. Correct? So, don't indulge into anything other than what you are into in a professional job. You have no role to ask who is staying with you and if you are an eye specialist. Understood? So, all that, see, ultimately what you will find is the headache is not because of any of this eye problem, all that. Maybe your neighbor is not good. Your problem with the neighbor can create you headache every day, right? How do you solve? By changing the specs? Don't ask this question. So, professionally, you have to be professional. Don't add anything more. That's what it is. Don't take somebody's problem, because everybody has got their own problems. Why you should take somebody's problem?
The problem is in the teaching of elders, I think.
Yeah.
They keep on saying help somebody, and then when you are into a profession, you have so many people to help. You can't help yourself then. Okay, I got my answer. Thank you.
Yeah, Isabel.
Hello.
Namaskaram.
To
Namaskaram.
all. Thank you, DrTPS. Thank you all. In my opinion, in this moment, the change in humanity is when we have to be more attentive and united on to the family, the tradition of all humanity. Those of us who are aware have the obligation to speak traditions of peace, meet to creative awareness without expecting humanity resolve the seed.
Yeah.
Opinion is
What is lacking today is that humanity.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for inviting me
There is
to this meet. Thank you.
there is nothing to be thankful for inviting. We are all doing the same job. Yeah. Anybody else? Bipin, Suresh. I'm seeing only two faces.
So, I will just say my opinion actually about conscious living. If we are conscious that this entire place is also like a place where it's not ours, we are just coming here and living here and going back somewhere else. All these items are not ours. If we think in that manner and live consciously in that manner without hurting anything or without destroying anything, that is how we can become a conscious living actually. That is, if you think every activity in that manner, we can have a conscious.
I think Bipin knows that perfectly because he is staying in Dubai. We have to be very conscious while drinking water in the public space during the Ramadan. Right? I keep saying most of the Gulf people, when they stay in Gulf, their life is like staying in a rented building. You know when to vacate. When any day you will be asked to vacate. Correct? So you are accumulating everything, keeping everything in your house also, you know. It's only a temporary place, I will have to vacate tomorrow. So we are very conscious about adding things. Every small step is with a lot of thoughts behind it. Yeah. That adds more perfection in life. You will not add lot of bundles. You will not do any small mistakes also because the punishment is too harsh. Correct? See, you have to be very conscious. India, you can cross the, I don't know how many of you know. India, if the signal line is crossed, maximum you will have to pay maybe $1,000. Or maybe the police fellow, you put him 500 rupees or 100 rupees in his pocket, he will say, go, go. But in Dubai, how much is the charge now? 300 dirhams?
Around 300 plus. You have a problem of going there and then sitting for 3 hours.
Yeah, that is the biggest punishment. It is not the richest of the richest also, if they cross the small line a bit, 1 millimeter. It is not paying 300 dirhams. You must be very conscious about the mistake which you are doing. And you know the punishment scheme. You will have to go 30 days and pay 10 dirhams each day. So if you have done it for saving 1 second of your time, you are wasting 30 days multiplied by 3 hours, driving all the way there and then coming back. And you cannot send it by Google Pay, you cannot send it by internet to pay, you cannot send somebody else. Physically, you have to go and pay it. Correct, no, Bipin?
Yeah, it is actually one time you can pay, but 3 hours, 4 hours it will take
You'll
for
have
you
to
to wait there. And then you have to pay and collect back your Emirates ID.
Yeah. See, it's very tough. So any small mistake, you are so conscious. But here we are not even conscious about it.
And main problem is, if you don't have your Emirates ID, other services you cannot do. So you want to go to any building and meet somebody also, maybe you cannot do because your Emirates ID is not there.
Yeah. Anybody else or Suresh ji?
Yeah, in my listening is when we talk, when we interact with some any person by action or by talking or something, we should know what is what changes happening in our inside, whether it is positive or negative. So that way we should aware what is our strength and weakness in every interaction. That is what my understanding about this.
Yeah. The communication, interaction, intrapersonal relationships are the way we interact with the people. That will become the polished and the best only when you know what is the culture around that land, how do they greet people, how do they talk to people. Assume that you don't know the culture of that area, then your interaction will become wayward. That will not be acceptable to most of the people. So it is to be very carefully done. The way you interact in America is not the way you interact in India. It's not the way you interact in... Even unknown people in Gulf I have seen, when they meet each other, they greet. We greet. India only we don't greet people each other. Though we talk about great culture and all that. When we meet people, no, we don't. I'll tell you when we don't. If you go to Gulf, you will know how do they greet. They greet every one of them. Irrespective of whether somebody is known to you or not also. Correct? That's a normal culture. They will do like this. Hi, bye. Something will be there. Islam alaikum. Something will be keep greeting each other. Here, I am not saying it's not there. Rajasthan is an entirely different culture. So, Shujita need not. They know how to greet people. Because Rajasthan is the only place in India, I'll tell you, where the cook is considered as Raja. We keep saying roti, kapada, makan. That is most important. Then who is the Raja in this world? Who is preparing food? Who is constructing houses? Who is making dress for us? And all these three people, traditional Indian marriages. Traditional Indian marriages, if somebody has to get married, they have to go to the houses of people who make ornaments and then pray, request them to come for the marriage. Those who are waivers, you must get them as guests. The cook need to be invited going to their houses because they are considered as Rajas. Correct, no, Shuchita? The culture is entirely different.
It is still,
Yeah, still in practice.
yeah.
Yeah. That is why you will see Rajasthani people when they have got at the topi and all that, the cook, the servants and all that, you will look like a Raja dress.
We call Maharaj.
Maharaj. You don't address them as servants. The chef, the person, you are calling them. Isabel, you must know Indian culture, Rajasthani culture. I don't say Indian culture because we have different varieties. South India and all, we don't consider them. A cook means a log. But where Shuchita is coming from, the cook, the people who serve, they are considered as kings. They address them as Raja. Raja means king. My lord. You must address them, my lord. Not in the court, only the judge. You have to address the cook also, my lord. Can you imagine? Yeah.
And when we talk about the interfaith, we have to invite Muslim community people who work for the aritari of the bride.
Yeah.
The basic dress is made by the Muslims here. And when we talk about Rangrej, the one who dies is also a person from a Muslim community. So we have a culture, but we don't practice it, or we don't feel the pride is.
No, I am saying the concept of these cultural practices came because I am aware that I cannot have a dress without them. I cannot eat without them. I cannot stay in a house without them. So when we are aware of this water, that's why Suryaya Swaha Suryaya Idam Namama. Oh, the food has not made by me, not purchased by me, made by many people. They are all contributing to my food. The concept is more important. So every ritual had this consciousness underlying as a lesson. What has happened is we just become ritualistic, like introducing a guest, reading their biodata without even consciously about whether this buffalo is good or not. We don't even say. I keep saying when some webinar comes, I said, everybody keeps saying this is a great speaker. Actually, the person who is vote of thanks giving person also knows this is a stupid fellow. Why do you want to do that? Just because they have a position, power, we keep doing it. I don't care. I keep saying it was boring lecture. I keep saying. Let him not care me. I don't care. I am very, 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 very. Sometimes we create enemies. That doesn't matter. Actually, he should not disturb many people, right? Yeah. I am seeing Aarti Verma.
Yes, sir.
You are new to this platform?
Yes, sir.
You are no, sir. DrTPS. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Where are you? Introduce yourself. Others are known to each other. That's why we don't.
My name is Shanti Verma. I read in B third year.
Okay.
I live in Uttar Pradesh.
Wonderful. What do you study? Which subject?
Philosophy, economics, and ancient history.
Yeah, you have on my screen, next neighbor to you on the display is a philosophy professor in Delhi, Dr. Jayanti Sahu.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hi.
So how did you know about this, Aarti Verma?
Sir, by WhatsApp group of your.
Oh, you are there in some of the groups.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So what do you think about conscious living?
Sir, I am at that time I am railway station, so
You couldn't
I
listen.
should not.
Yeah, but some concept. What do you understand by conscious living? That's only what we are asking. See, because you study economics, today morning I had a long discussion, 1.5, 2 hours, on economics of India by a Indian who is a professor of economics in South Africa, a very senior person. Do you know the 80% of Indians were farmers when we got independence,
Yes, sir.
and today it is less than 30%.
Yes.
And their productivity is much less than what we were having. And the biggest problem is we are not able to take these farmers' children to the so-called higher status of manufacturers, higher officials, higher status of life. If we call, by mistake, if we call anything other than agriculture is a higher status today, that's what people think. So we are not able to take them there. So what has happened? 80% of Indian population, that's nearly probably more than 90 million people in this country. I may be wrong because offhand I am saying that. No reference and numbers with me. So 90 million people, you can imagine they have no directions because they left their houses, they could not reach anywhere in this world. They themselves declare themselves as scopeless fellows. So what is the biggest solution for India to grow is agriculture. And why we are not able to make it strong? Because nearly 80% of Indian agriculture goes without a tax. Because anybody can grow something, they can sell it on the road, somebody can buy it, somebody can make a sabji out of it and sell it in a hotel where nothing is coming in tax. But their rebate which is given by government is huge, large money. Every farmer gets a lot of rebate. That's why we are able to produce 2 rupee rice. Otherwise, to produce 2 rupee rice, the cost involved is the land cost, water cost, the human labor cost, everything. If you add, 1 kg rice will cost more than 3,000 rupees. But then we are selling it for 20 rupees or maybe 2 rupees in some place, 1 rupees in some place, or maybe 100 rupees in a 5-star mall, the same rice. That is because government rebated all of them. Politicians are not aware of it. They are not conscious about it. Public is not conscious about it. The so-called rulers are not conscious about it. So we had a long discussion about Indian economy. Today morning I was proposing all this to him. And he saw it immediately. He asked me write a chapter of 20 pages and then he is going to publish a book. He wants to add my ideas into that. I want some people. I don't want to write because I am not going to get any credit out of it. I want some people who are really interested in economics to write. Lot of inputs and points can be given. It's very essential to think consciously about even a rebate which we give, the rice which we eat, the cost of it. I'm not talking about the price of it. The cost, the real involved effort on that should be understood. Yeah, good Aarti Verma. Keep connections. Good enough. Vijendra is there but not on video. Shanta Kumari Shandechi is there. Yeah. Geeta Lakshmi, M.E. Aravind. So, bye. Thank you. Good. Hope Dr. Jayanti there was some small spark. Dr. Jayanti was feeling we are not meeting for a long time. Shuchita also must be feeling after a long time.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Naga Viknesh has come. You have something to add, Naga?
Sorry. I just wanted to thank everyone. It's a great thing. I newly joined this group, basically, through Dr. Lalita Jayanti, who was part of Radha Krishna thing.
Okay.
So we met last evening in the train. We had a discussion about how I can read Bhagavad Gita.
Okay.
Right. So then she has shared, certain inputs. Then I have, communicated with her. We've been traveling from Tirumala to Bangalore.
Okay.
During that conversation, made me got this opportunity to be with all of you.
Okay.
So I'm so blessed to be in a part of this group.
Where are you, Naga? You are from Chennai?
I am from Bangalore, sir.
Okay.
So basically, I born and brought up in Madurai.
Okay.
Now working in Bangalore as a real estate executive.
Good.
So yeah. it's. I wanted to say that every time we speak a lot, but we literally forget to listen. So every mentor is stating that we need to have the critical thing in life is to listen to someone. So everybody is lack on that. If everybody knows how to listen to a person, what they are talking or how they express, even in the phone or SMS or any sort of communication, we all can be together as united. Like we can be so good with each and everyone. As there's one serial that I have watched, Lord Sai Baba. In that he says, we all met everyone in any of our life. That's why we think that, this person I met somewhere, I don't know. This person I met somewhere. We might have know the past, but we never have that conscious to understand the person who is right behind us or right in front of us. We always smile. There are few people who smile at us and offer snacks or something, but I might have given to them, or they might have given to me in past lives. So that's how I enjoy that feel and being conscious and literally go on the flow. Sometimes Buddha says, don't go on the flow. It will make you run somewhere. but however, there are few saints used to say, you should be on the flow and accept everything, whatever comes.
Good.
Right? So that's how I think of that consciousness is little bit in me. That's all I can feel.
Yeah, we are not regular, but earlier we used to be so regular with the Bhagavad Gita and some discussions on different aspects. And in fact, Dr. Jayanti has given me a date of discussing Upanishad on one of the days. She must have forgotten, but I have marked it on my diary and then.
Sir, I have not forgotten. I have said to Uttar Gita also. I requested you.
Yeah, Dr. Jayanti asked me on Mundaga Upanishad, and then I said I don't know. I said I don't know, and then escaped from there, right? Because that's one of the toughest thing what anybody can learn in their life, and that's what she wants, because she knows there is a great saying: if somebody asks for Mundaga Upanishad, Mandukya Upanishad, Prashna Upanishad, and three of them, if you can learn, you learned the whole Upanishads. And if it says if you can't understand this, then read all the rest of the Upanishads. So that will introduce to many of the other Upanishads. So we used to not to be very, very regular, but earlier we used to be regular, as Naga said. We used to have a good satsang. And that's why we are very talking as if we know each other for long, right? And see, for example, we have Shandechi here who is from my village. I don't think there is no single day when we meet, she don't refer to me my mother's memories.
Oh.
Because she married and came from a village to my village. Probably I just took birth that time. That's such a senior person, right? So probably if she is loving me a little bit, that is just because my mother loved her that much. A portion of it is what I am enjoying. So I believe whatever is given by somebody, my Purva Janma, that will be given to us by the present generation because they had a connection.
Correct.
And we were all related once upon a time because we had only 7 Sapta Rishis and we are all belong to that tradition, right? If you go back and then look at tradition, we all have some gene which is connected to each other.
Correct.
Irrespective of whether we are from India or maybe from some other part of the world. We are all connected to each other. That's what we believe. That may be one reason Isabel is still with me, though the timing she don't look at, she don't sleep sleeplessly, she will sit and then listen. She teaches, though she is from Argentina, she taught Sanskrit slokas to Indians. Can you imagine? We used to have music satsang. So Naga can just send a WhatsApp message. So I'll put you in the broadcast list.
Sure, sir.
Yeah.
Sure, sir.
What we are
Definitely,
doing is now in Hyderabad. I am not too regular these days on digital platform because intensively we are creating a place of real stay. Because you are a real estate person, you must know this. I have for last 2 years during COVID, I never traveled out of Hyderabad except for a film shooting. I came to Vijayawada. Otherwise, I'm into films little bit. So otherwise, I went around different farms. There are a lot of people who with a lot of dream, they made something, nothing is happening. And some places they wanted to do something, but they are not able to make it. So I'm trying to connect all of them. And then trying to create a community where we will live together. At least once in a month, a few days. Right? It's like an open house. You can come and stay here and then cook. And next week I am going to have, the other day we had a program in which we went to somebody's house. He will prepare food and give you as much as you want. That's like an open house. If you're coming to Hyderabad, you don't have a place to stay, you are welcome there. Right? And he will feed you and then nothing is expected. So there are such people. They were rare to see. Maybe traditionally in villages that was happening. But in a city like Hyderabad, in the center of the city, you can't imagine that. So I went there and then had. So what I'm asking is, I'm asking him to come to my place where I'm staying now. And in 10 days time, we have a great mela which is called the Summer Drinks Mela. What to drink during summer? How to create that very potentially useful traditional drinks which makes your body cool. Right? How can you fight with the summer? How your metabolism can be very good and then you become healthy. So what is conscious eating? So we are doing a lot of saying is entirely different on platforms. So what we are going to do is we are going to put the ingredients and show you this is how it is to be made. We teach them. We have cooking classes. So I am running around making such things. So I am not very regular on but all those discussions when he come yesterday, he was here with me. That is posted on my YouTube today. It is not for anybody to see. The clarity may not be very good, but I'm sure you are consciously hearing it. You will get a lot of points. I keep saying, somebody says the audio is very bad. I said, walk on the MG road in Bangalore, where I walked many times. Right? You want the whole MG road to be silent to talk to your friend who is beside you?
No.
Eh?
We can't hear anything.
But still we will speak and they will hear, they will speak, we will hear, right?
Definitely.
So if at all audio is not very clear, if you are very conscious and is that what you want, you can listen. And that is why I am not worried about the quality in which it is there. Because I am not doing it professionally. I have got a recorder here, I record. I have got another recorder here which I am recording. I put them together and make it a video and then put it. Correct? We discussed a lot of things. Like this. So we have every week some meeting. We want to spread it out not only to Hyderabad. That's why most of my lectures these days I put the title as Conscious Living. That's because we want to have such communes everywhere. At least a place where maybe when I come to Delhi, I have a place to stay where anybody can come and stay. Right? That is very, very essential. That whole freedom, like your house, you can stay in somebody's house. Correct?
That's all. Yes. Yes.
That's what we are creating. My house in my hometown is like that. When I go for a camp, the time I drive and reach my house, somebody will come with some tiffin, somebody will come with something to eat. Whichever, most of the people will come with something to eat. And morning breakfast, you don't have to call somebody. They will come. Shandeji, who is just here, every camp, she is one of the person who comes and attends. Right? And the food is there. You don't even have to ask. Go to kitchen, eat whatever you want. That's how we are. So I'm sure we need to create such a community in different parts of the world so that we understand each other. Like there is no point in saying, oh, myself and Naga is related in some point of time. We feel like we are related. No, we want to recreate it. Nicely Naga put that in the beginning, no? Of when you are talking. That is our conclusion actually. We wanted to create a life where we feel like I can come to Naga's place and stay there. And I will not feel like I am staying in somebody's place where I don't know. That's not happened. That's what we are looking for. That is what is conscious living. Right?
Understood.
Yeah. That's how we do. That is what we are planning to do at different places. And Hyderabad, we have a lot of such farms. So tomorrow also I am going to a farm. And not one, 2 farms. Where probably stay is free, but food you can contribute or you can cook and then feed, take all the items and come. So most of the meetings, you can look at day before yesterday we had a meeting. Not yesterday, day before yesterday we had a meeting. It's not potluck. You have to bring something like that is not told. Somebody brings only, maybe this is summer, somebody brought some cane sugar juice. Somebody bought something else. And you can see the video you will see. You fast forward and look at it, you will see a lot of people sharing and eating is more than the discussions. Because what we are discussing is to have such a place to live together. So our meetings are also places for eating.
Understood.
That's what we do.
That's nice. That's wonderful.
So
That is what, sir, I think that is what conscious living is.
yes, that is what is conscious living. That's what I wanted to conclude. All these philosophical problems of society and all are different.
Correct.
When definitely 20 people of different background comes, there will be some jagada, there will be some fighting. All that is not an important activity because what we discuss, what we fight is not important. But the end of the day, our Madhya Pradesh is full. Uttar Pradesh, something will not be there, no problem. That doesn't matter. Easier. Are you happy with the food? That only we will discuss throughout after that meeting. Correct?
And in India, if Madhya Pradesh is not full, many of the things goes wrong.
Yeah, that is why I said roti, kappada, makan. First is roti, food. So we must be consciously eating. That's what is must. It is not that when I go to Gulf, I can't get a 5-star accommodation in some hotel. Whoever is calling me, they will give. But no time I stayed in other place other than Bipin's house. Correct? That's a house where I can go and it's my life. So what do? When I travel once, all the dress I've got in the Almara, there is a place for me. I will dump everything and then go. By the time, next time I go, everything is washed and kept properly as if it's your house. No, you go and stay there. That's it. And when many people come to my house, they can take anything, any dress which they want, they wear it and then go, that's it. That's what I did. I remember when I went to Calcutta, I got a beautiful, different colors of nice half kurta. I loved it so much. And my first trip, few things are with Bipin, but much bigger number is there with somebody, Ajit in Muscat. When I went there, he said, I loved it. I said, which color? All of them looks good. I said, take everything. And only one kurta, that I came back. Correct? So that is what the power of gifting and giving, no?
Very true.
That is what we should learn. Yeah. So we will keep meeting. Glad.
Definitely.
Adira just came. We just finished.
Fine. I will catch it from YouTube.
Yeah. Adira is one who goes through all my YouTube. And my takeaway is she will make a note and send it to me. And also post it onto my YouTube as a comment. Very rarely we see.
You all.
Yeah.
Very happy to see you all.
Good.
And the word conscious.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Beautifully explained.
Thank you.
Beautifully explained.
Yeah. Vijendra is here. He is the man.
Conscious.
He is driving me to conscious.
Yeah. Yes.
Vijendra, you were here hearing, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
I am with my niece, so she's not much.
Okay. So we are creating a conscious commune here. So wish probably you should have a group of people and say we are ready. Our team from Hyderabad will come and show you how to live together. By that time we will have good experience. We are learning. We are all learning. Love you. Come. I'll take you. Come. Jump inside the camera and you can come through this camera out. Yeah, from that you get into the mobile and you will come out from this on my laptop. Somebody asked me what you can do in multimedia. I said today you can show idli and then sell. Maybe a day will come you can smell idli and then say and touch idli and see how hot it is. That change will happen in the computers. The communication on mobile will become so fast. You can smell the idli, sambar and then order for that item what you want. Love you. Okay? See you. Good.
Great, sir. Great. Thank you.
Kannada. మీరు కన్నడిగేనా?
Tamil, sir.
Tamil. Okay. One of your biggest or largest, richest real estate owner in Bangalore with whom I worked, Shobha Developers.
Oh, great.
2 years, almost 2 years I was with the Shobha Developers.
Amazing.
As a consultant on education. Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome.
I studied in Bangalore and Bipin is from Mysore.
Yeah.
So ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಕನ್ನಡಿಗರೇ.
Kannadiga.
ಕನ್ನಡ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಚಿನ್ನ.
We need to respect the language, right? Wherever we work, at least the state is providing food, shelter, everything. As you said.
I don't know whether you were there in the beginning when I mentioned. That is what I mentioned.
No. From the beginning, I was there from 5 to till now.
That's how I mentioned when somebody was feeling upset about their neighbors, about parking place. I keep saying we are all getting accommodated. So you have to be like that.
Correct.
See, when you don't have a parking place and you have a problem, I keep asking them, look at Ukraine now and then see how they are struggling. Correct. You don't have anything there. Parking place is not a problem and you don't even have vehicles, right?
Right. True.
Yeah.
Good to join. Good to see everyone.
So originally from Tamil Nadu, which place?
Madurai, sir.
Madurai. Yeah, wonderful place. I stayed there in 1986 or 84. 85 I was in Madurai. 10 days.
Oh, that's awesome.
Madurai was a beautiful
Meenakshi.
place.
Meenakshi temple.
Yeah, we had Kamaraj University, Madurai Kamaraj University. I was there for 10 days.
Amazing.
Thank you.
She came now.
Thank you, Aarti.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, man. Thank
So,
you.
Shuchita,
much, everyone.
you wanted a topic that is covered under this topic, right?
Yeah.
Everything is related and there is no end. Conflictology is a big topic. My last lecture in the Calicut University when I was director, the last lecture was on conflictology. A topic which I loved for long years. Mahatma Gandhi was one of the examples and everyday activity as an example in life. Lot of conflict. The biggest conflict is within us. My buddhi and the manas is conflicting. I want to do this. Manas says, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. The brain says it is not economical. It is not good to do now. Then the confusion starts. What to do, how to do, when to do. I keep saying 5 wife and 1 husband is the problem. Where, when, what, why and how solves the problems. If Mahabharata had 5 husbands and 1 wife, our life is everyday problem with the 5 wives and 1 husband. That's it.
Thank you, doctor.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye, bye, bye.
Thank
Bye,
you.
bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye.
Vijin bhai, you have a cute baby.
Thank you.
She made her day. Bye. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Acharya.
So